What's going on, everybody? B. Scott, I'm here with
GOD.
And on today's show, we got your matchup video heading in to the final week of the NFL season. It's week number 18. Absolutely. We're going to be getting into the matchups, giving you our picks on these matchups. We're going to be focusing more on the playoff teams rather than just some of these meaningless ones. But we're going to be going through them, all of them, nonetheless. So keep it locked and loaded right here at the first 4 downs.
Yeah, you already know what it is. Week 18, playoffs, ins and outs. We got you, though. Drop it.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. B. Scott, GOD here, and we're going over the matchups heading into week number 18. Honestly, some great playoff scenarios for some of these teams, so that's why we're really going to dive into the matchups and make sure to give our best picks and really the way the playoff picture is going to lay out after this week. So before we get to today's content, don't forget, like the video, subscribe, share, thumb bell, and then comment. If there's anything you want to talk about, fantasy related, NFL related, drop in the comment section. We'll be glad to give you our advice. Shout out your team, your favorite team, whether they made the playoffs or not. We'll be glad to talk to you about it. But let's dive into the matchups. We'll start with the Saturday ones. We got a couple ones that are somewhat important. So first off, Saturday, Kansas City Chiefs on the road against the Denver Broncos. Denver at home is plus 10.5, 45 over under in this one. And I just don't see a path in which the Denver Broncos win this football game. Now, Kansas City, this is not necessarily must win, but they're still fighting for that number 1 seed with Tennessee Titans. If they win and the Titans lose, which we'll get to them later, but if they do, Kansas City does get the number 1 seed. So it's hugely incentivized for them to win. Denver Broncos, no Teddy Bridgewater, out with concussion. Obviously, the nasty concussion that happened a few weeks ago. They're missing a lot of players in that secondary. That's going to hurt that defense overall as a whole that has actually played very well this season. But I just don't think they're going to be able to hang in this game. I don't think they're going to score any points. The Denver offense has really fallen off with Drew Lock under center. I don't know what the play calling is going on there or what's happening, but I got to back the Kansas City Chiefs here. And even on the 10.5, I know it's a huge spread, but I think they get it done.
Yeah, those huge spreads are crazy for Kansas City because we know they've been struggling with them a lot. But unless Denver has all pros and that's on the bench in the secondary, I don't see them getting this done. You know, you think about contract incentives and everything like that. And even if they don't get the number 1 seed, I think they need a really good showing that they can do this on the road. It don't really matter. I'm taking Kansas City 10.5. 45, which is the total. I don't know where that number can go in this one. I don't see a shot in hell where Denver just gets this done, though.
No, I don't. I'd probably take the under just because I think Denver's defense will show up a little bit, but Kansas City's defense has been playing so good. I don't see how Denver, albeit last week, you saw what Cincinnati Bengals did, but still, they've still been playing good at a high level, and especially against bad teams, and Denver right now on offense is a bad team. So we're both on the Kansas City Chiefs. We'll move on. Dallas Cowboys on the road against Philadelphia Eagles. This game's almost meaningless. Dallas, obviously, if they win, it helps their push to get to that upper seed. But if they lose, it's not going to hurt them either. They've already locked up the division.
Both of these guys locked in.
Yeah, and the Philadelphia Eagles have guaranteed a playoff spot. Lots of guys on the COVID list. I think Dallas just wins this football game because there's too many players out on COVID for Philly. And I really don't think they're that worried about trying to get their studs out and trying to win this football game. No Dallas Goedert. You know, they're down to their 3rd and 4th string running backs to start this game. So I think Dallas is going to win the game handedly. And I'm going to take the Dallas Cowboys.
I think so, too. I think Jalen Hurts have problems here, even with Michael Parsons being, in question for this game. You know what I'm saying? If he plays at all. What can you say here?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Philly, they're decimated with COVID right now. Or Florona, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I think Dallas is really good on the spread right here. 4.5 is good enough to buy you 3 points. You know what I'm saying? If you buy the 1.5. So even if you don't like it here, if you take Kansas City and Dallas in this game in the 2-team parlay, you winning right here. This is a plus 200 matchup. I'm taking Dallas on the road against these Eagles.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm on the same boat. I would take the 4.5 because I think Dallas is still elite on defense and their offense is still pretty good. I get it. They got the Cooper stopper with Darius Slay, but CeeDee Lamb, they still got to defend him.
Yeah, Cedric Wilson be there, Dalton Schultz. They still have enough in the aerial department to get this thing done. And Ezekiel Elliott, I mean, as inefficient as he been, Totally Parker will be there to get this job done.
Yep. So we're both on the Dallas Cowboys. We'll move on to the Sunday matchups. Pittsburgh Steelers on the road against Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore at home, minus 3.5. 41 over under in this one. And look, Pittsburgh Steelers had a big win last week. I get it. Ben Roethlisberger, his last game in Heinz Field possibly. Baltimore got Tyler Huntley under center. Honestly, has played pretty well for the most part. Pittsburgh defense, don't get me wrong, is playing good, and TJ Watt's going to be out there trying to get the sack record.
I think 2 away from it.
But the Pittsburgh offense just does not wow me at all. The Baltimore defense, the problem is the secondary, but Ben Roethlisberger didn't throw the ball more than 3 yards downfield last week. I want to say 46 dropbacks, something like that, for 150 yards Roethlisberger had. That's 3 yards per dropback, you know what I mean? So I just don't know if the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to be able to push the ball downfield to score points.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they can slow down Huntley, because Huntley can run a little bit. So I got to back the Baltimore Ravens here. Both these teams, honestly, are fighting for a playoff spot as well. There's some scenarios, but I like Baltimore at the -3.5.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. Legitimately, both of these teams have a shot, to get inside the playoffs. So, I think that there's going to be a fight. You look at two teams where the defensive lines are very great. They create a lot of pressure, but the secondaries are both trash. I look at this at the total, for my best bet for this game. 41, I think is going to go over 41, period. No matter if it's Lamar, no matter if it's Huntley, I think they get this thing done here. I really am pressing this 3.5. I like it more close to like 2.5, so by a point here. But Pittsburgh, they're going to play with everything they got. You know what I'm saying? This is the last of that era for Mike Tomlin and Ben Roethlisberger. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to leave on a losing season note, which they won't, even if they lose this game.
That's true.
You know what I mean? But I think they're going to go out there and give it all they got. I'm taking this over 41.
Okay.
And possibly, Baltimore winning this 2.5.
Okay. Yeah, there's a scenario I can see both these teams winning the game, to be honest. I really do. It's pretty crazy to think about just with Pittsburgh, trying to not to get off too much topic, but Tomlin and Ben Roethlisberger never having a losing season.
That's crazy.
Never. You know what I mean? So that's pretty incredible, and they won't have it this year either.
But I'm still unconvinced.
Okay, so on to the next matchup. We got the Cincinnati Bengals, looks like they're going to bench everybody, against Cleveland Browns. Cleveland is favored 6.5 in this game. That's the reason. 37 is the over and under here. What can you say about Cleveland? They played terribly, and they shut down Baker Mayfield. And honestly, Case Keenum, I think it might be an upgrade at this point.
Cleveland sucks right now, man.
They do. Nick Chubb, they're not running the football effectively for no reason. I don't get it. I mean, he's still averaging 5 yards per carry when he gets the ball.
I think the thing with Cleveland is they've lost a lot of offensive linemen, big names in the offensive line. So, I think they've aborted the run a little bit and expected to pass a little bit more with Donovan Peoples-Jones emerging as a decent wideout in years to come, especially in Dynasty. This is the kind of guy that you want to be rostering immediately, to be honest with you. I think he's the future there. But Cleveland's been playing terrible. We know Cincinnati's good. I'm pretty sure that defensive line and these backers, they're going to play this game. So I don't know if Case Keenum could really just pull something out of this hat. They're playing for no reason.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Cincinnati, on the other hand, even if the starters is out here, I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? So the 37 over, I'm taking over 37 points.
Yeah, just because you expect there's got to be some sort of points to be scored.
Yeah.
I get you. Honestly, this game was almost irrelevant anyway. I'll take Cleveland to win the football game. Let's put it that way. So, on to the next matchup. We got the Green Bay Packers, who are playing for nothing against the Detroit Lions. Green Bay is still favored -3.5, 44.5 over and under. Green Bay has nothing to play for. Now, Aaron Rodgers says they're going to come out and play. This is something I like, period, because I think any team that has momentum like they do, they played very well, especially just cruising down the backstretch. That offense is rolling. The last thing you want to do is let them get out of sync. One, they already have a bye heading into the final week.
Let's be real here. The only reason why Aaron Rodgers is saying he want to play is because he knows he has no shot in hell to win the MVP. He's trying to catch up on Brady a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He's down 1,000 yards in almost double digits in touchdowns. Given four interceptions to 11. Brady's still gonna win the MVP. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I'm figuring he wants to clown the Detroit Lions.
Yes.
And but
that's exactly what I said coming into the game. I'm like, what? Aaron Rodgers? The momentum. That's what it is. He wants
I say better safe than sorry, and hope that Aaron Rodgers don't get hurt in this game, because this is a divisional game and they still gonna play hard.
Absolutely. I'm gonna back the Green Bay Packers even if Aaron Rodgers plays two series. You know what I mean? And I think even in 2 series, let's even talk about a little bit of fantasy. Devontae Adams, even in 2 series, I think he ends with 40 yards and a touchdown. You know what I mean? So I would still probably start him. But
I think this is a big A.J. Dillon game, in my opinion.
Yes.
Big DeAndre Swift type of game. And this is going to probably go under 44.5. I don't see Aaron Rodgers playing this game. If he does, let's hope he don't get hurt.
Okay. So I'm going to take the Green Bay Packers at the -3.5. We'll move on to the next matchup. Tennessee at Houston. This is a lot of playoff implications. Tennessee is minus 10.5 on the road. 42.5 over under. Tennessee win, and they got the number 1 seed. Now they're playing a Houston Texans team that plays good at home.
Yeah.
And Davis Mills, I've talked about it a little bit. He's played great at home. 9 touchdowns and 1 interception at home. 300 plus passing yards in 3 home starts this season. So, and they beat up on the Chargers just a couple weeks ago at home. So, don't put anything past the Houston Texans here. I mean, 10.5, you see this huge number, and honestly, I'd be a little wary. The Tennessee Titans have given up these big spreads to a couple bad teams. It's a divisional game. I take nothing away from Tennessee. I think they will get it done. If I was to bet it, I like the 10.5 here. I do think Tennessee wins the football game, and 42.5, I think it goes over.
Yeah, I'm on the same thing. Only thing I got circled is 42 over. I think Davis Mills is playing for a different reason. I think the Houston Texans that are on the field are playing for a different reason. No reason for them to bring back Deshaun Watson. No reason for them to draft a quarterback. I think Davis Mills is playing for his job here.
Yeah.
300 yards at home, like when he had started. So I think that shows here. Tennessee's secondary is trash. So, I mean, what running back is going to run 100 yards in this game?
Yeah.
For the Texans? No, nobody.
No.
So, I think they could push this over 42.
Okay. Yeah, so we're both on that, and like I said, I like the 10.5 for Houston. It is a risk, don't get me wrong.
I think Tennessee going to win it, period.
Yep. So on to the next matchup, we got Indianapolis Colts in a must-win game on the road against Jacksonville Jaguars, where they haven't won there in a long time. Minus 15.5, the Indianapolis Colts. Yeah, 44 is the over-under here. And look, I like the Colts to win the game, but 15.5 is a huge, huge number against a divisional foe, period, in any divisional game. So for me, I like Jacksonville if I was to bet it at 15.5. Now, I mean, where are they going to score points? You know what I mean? That's the question. But I still think Jacksonville is going to keep it close enough. I like the Colts to win the game. It's a must-win game for them. I think Carson Wentz bounces back, has a good day here. And who's going to slow down Jonathan Taylor?
Yeah, Jacksonville losing James Robinson, losing DJ Chark early, you know what I'm saying? I'm wondering where this offense is going to come from. Yes, Indianapolis has not won there since 2014, but where's this offense going to come from for them to cover this 15?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at on this one. You look at the Colts, 6-0 against the spread on the road in the last 6, and at home, the Jacksonville Jaguars are 0-5 against the spread. So, this 15.5 is huge business. But I got this under 44 points, and I'm leaning towards Indianapolis 15.5.
Okay. Yeah. So we're on the same boat. We both agree Indianapolis wins. I just think the number's so large that I would take a chance with Jacksonville, personally. The next game is irrelevant, so we'll just mention it. Chicago Bears at the Minnesota Vikings. Both these teams playing for nothing. Minnesota's favored minus 5.5.
Yeah, flip it. It don't matter.
44 is the over-under. Look, Minnesota's going to start some starters. Andy Dalton starting Chicago Bears. These two teams that might have new head coaches next year.
Yeah.
So plain and simple, I like Minnesota on the 5.5. If they're going to start the starters out there, I think they beat the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, if I'm betting on this one for the week 18, I'm going to take Minnesota 5.5. That's an easy pick for me.
Okay, so on to the next matchup. And the reason we are scary and weary, like I said, these guys can come out and start the game, and by the second half, it could be the 4th preseason game. We could see 3rd string, 4th string. So
really,
Washington football team. Next game, it's relevant. At the New York Giants. Washington minus 7.5, 37.5 is the over/under.
This game is so bad it's going to go over 37.5.
That's true. The first time they played, remember, it was a barn burner on Thursday night, 30-29. Remember that game? Yeah. Nobody wanted to win the football game. Remember, it was like 3 missed field goals at the end of the game. At this point, it doesn't matter. I wouldn't bet it at all because who the hell cares?
This game could end in a tie.
Yes, it's irrelevant. I think Washington football team beats them just because the New York Giants are that bad. So.
Yeah. Let's move on.
New Orleans Saints in a must-win game at the Atlanta Falcons. New Orleans minus 3.5. 40 is the over/under here. And look, New Orleans has to win the football game.
Who that? If New Orleans win this game, San Francisco's out.
If San Francisco loses.
I mean,
that's what I'm saying. So
they're going to lose. They're playing the Rams.
Okay, so that wasn't the case the first time around. So the New Orleans Saints, look, they're going to win the football game. The 3.5, I would buy it to 2.5 because I think they win by a field goal here. Atlanta tends to win games like this for no good reason.
Yeah, they play them tough.
But Kyle Pitts is injured, dealing with a hamstring injury. He is questionable. What other weapons do they have? We know they've slowed down on using Cordero Patterson a lot. That'll hopefully be next year. We'll see. New Orleans Saints, it's a must-win game.
Yeah.
Alvin Kamara's healthy. Taysom Hill's healthy. I'm sorry. I got to go with the Saints.
Yeah, I got the Saints here too. You look at Atlanta, 0-4 in the last 4 games at home against the spread. I'm taking New Orleans Saints. Cameron Jordan and the defense playing ridiculous.
Yes.
I think they're going to be able to get at Matt Ryan all day long.
Okay.
Twice on Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely. Or 3 times.
Yeah.
Next game, New York Jets on the road against Buffalo Bills. Buffalo, it's not necessarily a must-win game,
I'm scared
but
of these AFC East divisional games.
16.5.
I think they want to upset.
16.5 is Buffalo the favorite. 40.5 is the spread here. And the Jets, honestly, put on a show. They were a couple plays away from beating them.
I was just going to say, is Buffalo better than Tampa? Because the Jets played really good last week.
They did.
Antonio Brown just chucked the deuce.
They absolutely did, but you know what? The Jets were at home last week. Now they're on the road in Buffalo.
You know what's funny about AB? He posted a picture right after, said he was a super gremlin. I was like, well, he must have got wet. It's crazy.
Oh, wow. Buffalo. They're going to win the football game. They're going to beat the Jets.
Yeah.
By how much? I'm not sure.
16.5
is huge. And honestly, Buffalo's let down in some of these spots just on big spreads, but I don't think the Jets scored 10 points in this game. So my thing is I think Buffalo beats them probably 28 or 30-10. Really, I think they do beat them by 20. So I like Buffalo. I'll take the 16.5. Must-win game for them based on their seeding. They need to win another game.
All right, what am I going to pick here? I'm going to say they go over 40.5. You know what I'm saying? Actually, this is going to be like the first of the teaser of the day. I'm gonna tease this 7 points and get 33.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could see that because I think the Jets will score a touchdown, get to 10 points.
What if
or
they
13.
don't, though? It's 31-0.
Well, I could see the Buffalo Bills beating them 40-0. So that'll still push it over. All right, on to the next matchup. New England Patriots on the road against the Miami Dolphins. New England's minus 6.5. 40 is the over-under here. And look, Miami plays good at home. New England Patriots played great last week. Obviously put a 50-burger on the Jacksonville Jaguars. I've seen that coming, especially coming off the bad loss the week before. I think New England Patriots possibly lose this game. I really do. Miami's defense played very, very well, especially over the last month and a half. Now, yes, on the road against the Tennessee Titans, they couldn't stop the run for some reason. And honestly, what the Patriots can do well is run the football. So I can see a path where the Patriots win. I sure can. But Miami plays better at home, and the secondary's once again stepped it up, and they're starting to get at the passer. And all they need to do is be able to try and give Mac Jones the way to beat him. And Mac Jones, honestly, makes a lot of mistakes when it seems like the game's put on his shoulders alone. So if they can slow the run down and put it on Mac Jones to beat him, I don't think he does. So I'm going to take the Miami Dolphins. I like the 6.5.
Yeah, I'm leaning more towards the 6.5 for Miami Dolphins. And you know what? Honestly, our video of Rookie of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year, depends on this game right here. Because Burrow is not playing in this game, so I don't think that Jamar Chase actually gets the Rookie of the Year. You know what I'm saying? He very well can, because he has put up the stats, you know what I mean? Remarkable stats this season. But you look at win-loss totals on a team that was completely dead outside of losing Tom Brady, you know what I'm saying, the GOAT. And they come back and get this kid out of Alabama and Mac Jones. I think that if they win this game, he locks in the Rookie of the Year. I want to ride money line with this game. You know what I'm saying? I think New England just finds a way to win this game, and I get my bet with Mac Jones. So I'm going to take New England money line, and I'm not fucking with this total or the 6.5.
Okay. Yeah, so I like Miami. Honestly, I think the Miami Dolphins could win this game, but even the 6.5, I'll take the points.
Yeah, I'm really pushing.
That's a pretty big point spread. So on to the next matchup. We got Carolina. They played terribly, and they're on the road against Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who have played great at home. Their Bucs are favored minus 8.5. 41.5 is the over/under. And look,
about 21 points at home.
Mike Evans should be healthy enough to play in this game. Another game with Gronkowski. I just don't see. Carolina's defense played well throughout the entire season. They've had some hiccups here and there, but they've played pretty solidly. Don't get me wrong. But the offense is just a mess right now. Chuba Hubbard is doing okay. Honestly, played a lot better last week than I thought he would. But Sam Darnold doesn't look like he's the answer at all still. So I got to roll with the Tampa Bay Bucs here at minus 8.5. I just think they're gonna be able to hold up. They're going to be able to score points against Carolina, 1. And 2, I don't think Carolina's going to score enough points to hang in this game. And albeit, you look at the Jets and what they did. They really put up some points last week. But at this point in time, I just can't trust Carolina's offense. So I'm going to roll with the Bucs.
I'm going to roll with a storyline here. You know what I'm saying? This is like completely off script. But I'm going to roll with Tom Brady winning this game against Carolina versus Cam Newton, who tried to take his place in New England. Instead, he went to his division and destroyed that division and won a Super Bowl in his first year. I'm going with Tampa Bay at home, minus the 8.5. I'm not messing with the points at all. You know what I'm saying? Carolina 0-6 against the spread in the last 6. I think Tampa just gets this done. Keyshawn Vaughn, Mike Evans, short game, you know what I'm saying? I think they get this done, chunk it out. I think they win by 10 points here.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm on the same boat. So, we're both on Tampa Bay Bucks. We'll move on. Seattle Seahawks. On the road against the Arizona Cardinals. Arizona minus 6.5 at home. 48 is the over-under here. And look, Russell Wilson played great last week, but that was against the Detroit Lions. They had 51 points they scored. He had 4 touchdown passes. That's the most he's thrown since like week 2 of this season, you know. So,
that mallet turned into a hammer.
He's played better. Don't get me wrong, but the Arizona defense is still pretty good. The offense is good enough to beat the Seattle Seahawks, and I don't love the 6.5, to be honest. And Arizona could let down here, you know. So I'd be weary to bet any of this game because Arizona at this point, there's still a shot for them to win the division. They got to win, and the Rams have to lose. Yeah. But I don't know. I'm so torn here. Arizona's let down in these big moments. So for me, I like Arizona to win the football game. I don't trust the 6.5, but I could see a way in which Seattle Seahawks pull it off.
Yeah, Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury and the Arizona Cardinals shit the bed the second half of the season last year. This is the time of year they do it. In the last 4 games, they've been 0-4 against the NFC West, and this is the NFC West game where the Seattle Seahawks are 4-1 in the last 5 games, period, against the spread. You know, Seattle looked good last week. We had 2 touchdowns to DK Metcalf. They finally pushed him the ball. I don't think – do you remember the game last year where DK chased down Budda Baker? This is another one of these series in Arizona. I really like Seattle here at the 6.5. I don't think that they're going to lose by this much if they do lose at all. I think that somehow, some way, Arizona finds a way to lose this game. I don't know why, but I think that they're going out with a bang. You know, there's a lot for Russell Wilson to play for here. Should he be there? Should he be on another team next year? So is DK Metcalf. He's coming off on a contract. I think these guys try to get it done here, and I don't think they lose by more than a touchdown.
Okay. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm in the same. I really want to lean towards Seattle because I just got a weird feeling. Yeah, I don't think they should win the game, but I have a feeling they're going to win the game.
Yeah, they shouldn't win this game at all.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Baseball and how they played this year and their whole scheme, everything this year, they should not win this game.
They got the healthiest running back in Rashad Penny.
Yeah.
DK catch 3 touchdowns last week. Very good. And they have Tyler Lockett still. Gerald Everett's played well. The offensive weapons, Russell Wilson finally looking like fully healthy Russell Wilson. So if he plays like he did last week, they got a shot to win the game.
In danger.
Yep. So on to the next matchup. We got San Francisco 49ers on the road against the Los Angeles Rams. Rams are at home, minus 4.5, and a must-win game for them to win the division. Obviously, they have to win, and they win the division. So, and there's still an opportunity for them to get the number 2 seed. 44.5 is the over/under here. And look, the last time out, there's no way this game goes under 44.5. I just don't see that at all. Like, I'm sorry, the Rams defense played good. We're
talking about teams that got Darrell Henderson, DK Metcalf. Darrell Henderson, Cam Akers, Debo Samuels. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, George
Odell
Kittle,
Beckham,
Elijah Mitchell.
Cup. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? All these guys. This is not going over 40. under 44.
Yeah. So for me, 49ers need a win to get in. Period.
Yeah. It's not going to happen.
So I'm gonna. You know what? The worst part is like Jimmy Garoppolo. Is he going to start? Trey Lance. Is he going to start? And it's like I don't know if that's going to matter either way. I think the Rams are going to win. And I hope the Niners still get in. I'm going to back the 49ers on the 4.5 because I think the 49ers could win.
Yeah.
But I think they're going to keep it close. The 49ers are not going to let down here. So 4.5, I like it. I think they possibly just lose by a field goal.
Historically, red and gold has been good in January. You look at in January against the spread, they 6-0 against the spread in the last 6 games that they've played in January. But the LA Rams are hot right now, 4-1 in the last 5. Odell Beckham in this game, I think, is going to be a major factor in this one. Cooper been doing his thing all season.
Yes,
I think they got the juice to get the cup. You know what I mean? So I'm going to ride with the Rams in this one over 44.5 and probably lean towards buying a point 3.5.
Okay. Yeah, I'm right there. I mean, I understand the Rams should be favored. I think they should win the football game, but you don't count the Niners out. They already beat them once this season. We mentioned a lot of times divisions they split anyway. So on to the last matchup. This is a win-and-in scenario. Los Angeles Chargers.
Unless they tie.
On the road.
And the Colts lose.
Unless they tie, and then they're both in.
If they tie and the Colts lose, they both in.
Yeah. I don't think they would do that on purpose, but that would be, if they did, that would be like the worst thing ever in the history of football. Los Angeles Chargers on the road against the Las Vegas Raiders. Chargers on the road favored 3.5. 49 is the over/under. And look, the Chargers all season have been a Jekyll and Hyde team. And you can almost say
Yeah.
the same thing with the Las Vegas Raiders, because they've won a lot of football games that they shouldn't have, and then they come out and have dudded out against bad teams.
Yeah, and they hide has been really bad.
I'm telling you. So, for me, I'm gonna roll with the Las Vegas Raiders here at home, and I think they're going to be able to get it done. I think the Chargers come out. The Raiders' defense, to be honest, has played a lot better over the last month of football. They really have. They've been holding teams down, albeit holding some sick teams down. Carson Wentz, fresh off COVID, and played the Cleveland Browns with nothing but backup players. You know what I mean? All their players are on COVID, so they've gotten strung some wins that they needed together down the backstretch. This is going to be a huge game. It really is, and it's going to be the most exciting game to watch for me of the weekend. It's on Sunday Night Football. It's also great. I'm going to back the Las Vegas Raiders here, and the over/under of 49. I think I'm leaning towards the under in this one.
Yeah.
I just don't think. I think these teams are going to play a little bit better defense. The Chargers defense stepped it up in spots, especially against the run. Josh Jacobs a little bit banged up, but I think he'll be ready to carry a full enough workload, take some pressure off Derek Carr. Zay Jones has been getting it done on the outside for the Las Vegas Raiders, if you know, Zay Jones of all people. And then Darren Waller, he's also a factor. If he comes back and plays in this one, he can make an impact. And we know what Hunter Renfro's done down the backstretch. So I got to lean with the Las Vegas Raiders here.
I could see all that, but you know the value in the number just makes too much sense to me. You look at the Raiders, 2-5 against the spread in the last 7, and the LA Chargers are 6-2 against the spread against the AFC West. So I'm gonna buy a point and lay 2.5. You know what I'm saying? You get the Chargers at a field goal.
Okay. So we're split on that one, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's week 18. Our picks for every single matchup heading into the week, and then we'll go right into the playoffs. So
yeah, we got all the uncut, all the divisionals, wild card, championship, Super Bowl. You know I got the Super Bowl. So we'll be back at you.
We got the awards,
Yeah.
we'll have fantasy awards. We're going to have the off-season fantasy stuff, all kinds of good stuff.
All the fun stuff.
Absolutely. So, once again, like the video. Subscribe, share, thumb, and bell for all your fantasy content and NFL content, all your sports stuff right here at the First Four Down. So, it's been B. Scott,
G.O.D.
and we out.
Yeah. See you next week.